Hello again there folks, TaterCat here. Last time we talked to people, and we're gonna do some more of that. Joining me again is my friend Phelan.
What's up?
Hopefully audio sounds a lot better this time because I did a lot more dicking around. Holy shit. This has taken me a half an hour to set up.
Hi again, TaterCat. Glad to see you didn't run away from us, haha.
No, don't worry. You don't have to worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everybody else was already hanging out.
Thanks for keeping your promise, TaterCat. I hope this isn't too overwhelming. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack.
I don't know why I can never remember her fucking name.
Sayori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year.
I should clarify, I don't hate lollies. I hate the looting of lollies. Because I don't care if they're over 18. If you are looting them and you are not aware that they are 18, they look like little girls, so you're looting little girls. Don't loot the lollies, that's bad, okay? Same thing with the shotos. Don't loot the shotas either, because that's equally as weird.
And last year too. I didn't know if you planned to just come here and hang out or what.
Isn't that what you do?
But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it.
Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room.
Ooh, burn. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga.
Manga is literature.
Debatable. It's more artwork, but it's kind of both, I guess. In her defense. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat.
Don't worry, guys. Tater always gives his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room.
How dependable.
Sayori, that's because your room is so messy it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once.
Is that so?
You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous.
How come? You and Tater can become good friends too.
As far as I got from what I remember, Sayori, you weren't particularly happy I was getting friendly with everybody else. You got all depressed about it. So, Sayori. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into.
Oh! Yuri even brought you something today, you know?
Wait, Sayori?
Me?
Not really.
No, it wasn't for me, no, I'm sad.
Don't be shy.
It's really nothing.
What is it?
Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do?
I'm sorry, Yuri. I wasn't thinking.
Do you think? I guess it means it's up to me to rescue this situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place, so any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what.
Is that so?
Yeah. I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be.
Alright. Well, here.
Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book.
I didn't want you to feel left out. So I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted.
How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'd like despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book.
Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think.
Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. Can't help but notice her intense expression, like she's waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Oh hey, crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me. Our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in the book. If you shove your face deeper into it, you're only going to be reading the spine, and you can't read the spine through the inside.
Been there, done that.
Sorry. I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Yeah, I'm good at that.
Oh. It's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't even noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so...
That's the book that you gave me, right?
Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason.
Just curious, how come you have two copies of the same book?
Well, I stopped by the bookstore yesterday. And, that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy two of them.
Ah, I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decide to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon.
I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story.
Is that so? What's it about, anyway?
Well...
Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. Yeah, it's called a synopsis, dude! Pretty much all books have one on the back of it. The book is called Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover.
Alright. I just wanted to make sure I didn't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost sister. But as soon as she does, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships, and her life starts to fall apart.
That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere.
Haha,
Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden.
You're not a fan of that sort of thing, TaterCat?
I personally am. I like dark and fucked up shit. No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry.
I hope so.
Yeah. I totally forgot Yuri...
$5 says she wrote it herself.
I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. Dude, she already said that she's into horror. What did you expect?
It's obvious she's into you.
A little bit.
It's just that these kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in.
I hit the microphone. Good job, me.
Then suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be a naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I?
Girl, you have no idea what rambling is.
Not again. I'm sorry.
Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything.
Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books or writing fill my thoughts. Shit, hold on.
Train!
I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So, I'm sorry if I ended up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much.
I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading.
Alright, Casanova.
The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club, after all. I know, right? You're only saying that because you're flirting with her, otherwise you wouldn't care, dude!
Obviously. Well, that's true.
In fact, I might as well start reading it, right? Start words. Whatever the fuck that was.
You don't have to.
I can't read, Yuri. Read it to me. What are you saying? Just a moment ago, you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's.
Yeah?
Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive.
I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to.
This is a very weird, annoying thing to pick at, but they put random broken off bats a lot. And and it bugs me.
That is reading in company with someone. Kinda like what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, I know, it's kinda weird. It's a thing that people do sometimes, except we do it for more like the views. I don't know.
And I'm a voice actor, go figure. I should be used to this shit.
I want to be a voice actor. That'd be fun. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything.
Alright.
I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means by reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not particularly a bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. That's only because you think she's hot.
Obviously.
Yuri's in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. Looks like she's reading from my book instead.
Sorry. I was just...
Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? It's called anxiety.
Yup. I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean...
Nah. Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk up until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them.
I suppose so.
Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess it makes it kind of difficult to turn the page.
Yeah.
Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way, I turn the page, Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips over to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. Oh no. It's actually kind of distracting me. And from an asexual person, I'm just like, she's really cute. Just like personality-wise, I'm just like, you're so fucking cute.
Yeah, cute's a better word.
Like, physically, yeah, she could be hot. The school uniform kind of covers a lot of that. But, like, her personality, I'm like, you're just so shy and cute and timid, but you want to be friendly with people. Also, I like horror. You like horror and knives, tell me things. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision.
Are you ready? To turn the page.
Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance at Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her.
That's okay. I mean, you're not used to reading, right?
You're a high school student, you should be used to reading.
I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do. Since you've been so patient with me.
Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it on my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning the page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side, and she catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit.
You think so? How does she?
Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second guesses all of the things that she says and does. Like, she's afraid that she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms.
I see.
Yuri remains silent for a moment.
But TaterCat, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. That's so embarrassing that you think that.
Wait, I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I didn't really know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute.
What are you saying all of a sudden?
That you're cute.
Okay, everyone.
Ugh.
I think that we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long.
Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought.
Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this.
It's not... It's fine.
Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on the top of my thumb. Wow, sentences are hard. Alright, I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer that I only read it with you?
I guess I don't have much of a preference either way.
In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. Huh?
It's like, God, I can't fucking read.
I can't either. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know?
That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time.
Alright. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it into my bag. Why don't you get a scrap of paper and use it as a bookmark instead of doing that? I've used gum wrappers as a bookmark.
Wow, that's lazy.
I've used a corner of a piece of paper instead of a whole paper. Not gonna fold that. Who does that?
By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night?
Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. It's not that embarrassing, dude. Couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before.
Well, now that everybody's ready, why don't you find somebody to share it with? I can't wait!
Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf, torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers on a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their own bags. I do the same myself. So who do we want to show our poem to first?
Well, since it's your series, you decide.
I don't give a shit, really. That's why I'm just like, you do the thing with me, and you just... You do the picking.
Let's just go
things.
with Yuri.
Waifu! Yuri seems to be the most experienced, so I start with her. I can trust her opinion to be fair. Dots. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten.
Exceptional.
Huh? What was that?
Did I say that out loud?
Yuri first covers her mouth, then ends up covering her whole face.
He's going to hate me.
You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri.
Eh? That's... I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for?
Yuri takes a breath.
So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before.
Lies! Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really.
Huh?
Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Dots.
Well, I know that. No, you didn't. I just meant,
Girl, you don't have to lie to us. Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly.
Yeah.
Let me find something to pick at, then.
What are you, a commentary channel?
Yeah, I know, right, God.
Okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their own style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the typical matter, and then, in end, they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressive... Marley, shut up!
No, never, bird!
And the expressiveness are weakened.
Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert.
Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There's so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. She's not wrong.
Yeah, writing's fucking difficult.
Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example, and trying new things. Coming from a writer myself,
Indeed.
she's not wrong. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback.
Except I just don't write poetry, I write fiction, so it's fundamentally very different.
Natsuki can be a little bit biased, though.
Biased? How?
Well... Never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry.
It's fine.
Why do you think I did, Natsuki?
It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Nah.
Nobody likes Natsuki.
Nah, nobody likes Natsuki. I have a picture I need to put in this too that I finally found it. I found the buff Natsuki.
Oh god.
Do you mind if I read your poem now?
Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it.
Yuri smiles dreamily as if it's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Yes, a literature club, not a creative writing club.
That's on you.
Yeah. Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one, the last remaining street light to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. What are you, a candle?
That's actually amazing.
What?
The poem, that was actually cool.
I'm not much into poetry myself, so most of it I'm just like, meh. I could probably name the amount of poems that I actually like on one hand.
I'm sorry. I have such terrible handwriting.
Girl, you haven't seen my handwriting.
She has never seen mine.
What? I wasn't thinking that at all.
But it took you a long time to read.
Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is very pretty. It's okay.
Eh?
Train!
That's a relief.
Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it's really descriptive.
It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Damn it, now I'm laughing too fucking hard.
At what? The bird?
Yep.
Not at all.
I'm really glad you like it.
I can at least note that it is pretty. I don't understand what it means. Because as I said, I'm not a poet.
from what I guess, it kind of means like she's living in the past, but she needs to look forward, but she needs to move forward.
I can tell at least it has a melancholy tone to it. I can understand the tone of it, not necessarily the meaning to it. Also because art is too subjective to actually know shit like that.
I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose.
Are you into ghosts, Yuri?
Oh, how do you say that?
Hoo-hoo.
Hoo-hoo. Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, TaterCat.
Really? Must have totally missed the point. Don't worry, I'm like that too.
Yeah. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture.
Unless you're Oscar Wilde.
Yeah. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost.
Literally, my favorite poem is by Oscar Wilde, and it's the last thing he wrote before he died.
Mine is The Raven.
I actually haven't read Edgar Allan Poe yet.
Lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing.
That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. Haven't even thought of that. That's impressive.
It?
Well, I could tell
What
from
is with the it?
It's an anime thing.
Obviously, I need to watch more anime or play more anime games.
I watch too much anime. I'm too much into the anime, except I'm not a weeb. I can say that at least.
It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive, too, so...
Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you.
You think so?
That would be my response if someone said my poem is good. I'd be like, no, it's not.
Huh.
Yeah, of course.
Ah,
Oh, sorry.
you know... I was really nervous about doing all this. But, in the end, I enjoyed it. I have a feeling she's gonna die, isn't she?
I don't know.
I'm going to keep doing my best for you, TaterCat.
Ah, me too. A lot of too.
Okay, that's getting annoying.
That.
You wanna just get...
that, you know? God damn it, Yuri, why are you lighting candles behind a McDonald's dumpster?